I'm really hoping my phone doesn't fall because I have you guys propped up on a tissue box. I'm going to pull my jeans up a little bit because I am on my period and I don't want you guys to see my bloating. But as you guys can tell by the title, today I'm going to be speaking with you guys about why moving back home was one of the best, or probably the best decision I could have ever made. But before we go any further, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hi babes, it's your girl Tasia, and welcome back to my channel. This is a little podcast that I have on my channel called You Listen, I Yap, where I literally yap and you guys listen. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. But anyways, so yeah, so let's go back to May 2024. May 2024 is when I graduated from the illustrious Winston-Salem State University. And as the video before this showed, I went back for homecoming, which is my second homecoming as an alumni. Definitely had a much better experience than I had last year. But and while I've been moved back home, I've been really reflecting on how I ended up just kind of like where I'm at now. Because it's really easy to be 23 years old and be like, damn, like when I was in college, I was thinking that I was going to be here and there and doing this and doing that at 23. And just in general with like life cycles and the way life works, like by 23, most people are moved out. Of course, the economy being the way that it is definitely provides a lot of leniency. It's literally truly a privilege to be moved out. And I just thought that this is something that I should just be really transparent about you guys with on my channel, because I am 23 years old. Like, and I know that in a lot of spaces, you know, I may appear younger than my age, but I carry myself twice my age. And so it can be really confusing to people. Like in a lot of spaces that I'm in, that I am not living alone. So getting a little ahead of myself, but oh, not the purses in the shot. Wait. Put it on this couch. So I want to put my purse on the floor. But yeah. So May 2024, graduate college. So I graduated college and I gave myself a month to just kind of vibe out, because being in college, you guys know from story time. If you haven't checked out that story time, check it out on my channel. I was in survival mode. My nervous system was significantly shot. It definitely was. And then I was still in a abusive, we can call it what it is, an abusive relationship. And so it was just like, dang, like I have caught no breaks in 4 years. So I gave myself a month. And then I got to working and I started this new job at FedEx office. And as I started working, I started once again talking to another older guy and feeling like, dang, like, you know, when I was in college, I had my own space to do whatever, date freely. And, you know, if I wanted to have like a movie night with the dude I'm dating or talking to, they could just come in and we could have a movie night and be no big deal. Like things like that start running through my mind. So I started thinking, you know, I got this job. It's a good paying job. Maybe I should, you know, start to look to move out. So I started to look to move out, and let me tell you how the devil works. Sometimes we have to stop. I'm no preacher by any means, but regardless of what religion you subscribe to or belief you subscribe to, I think that we can all agree that sometimes when we have a vision in our head about a certain thing that we want to do, and it arrives a little too quickly, far too often, we see this as a yes from God or as a go for it. And sometimes we have to understand that the devil hears prayers too. The devil lurks on your conversations as well, you know, and sometimes something that seems a little too good to be true is exactly too good to be true. So I've been talking about how I want to move out, and I'm looking at apartments and I'm seeing rent being $1,400, and that's just rent. That's not including water. That's not including lights. That's not including electricity, Wi-Fi, and then all that to the side. That's not including toiletries I'll need, food I'll need to eat. So it was just getting real like, oh, baby, that is just going to be a dream. And then one day, I was on Facebook and cling, a Facebook marketplace for a girl that I used to go to high school with pops up, and it says looking for roommates, rent $200 a week. I'm like, what? It came fully furnished, kitchen, bathroom. I'm like, wow. So, like, this has to be a yes from God. Like, this has to be. So I go and tour the house after work, and I see it, and I'm like, wow, because they've really taken like an older home and really truly remodeled it, and it was really nice in there. Brand new furniture, brand new paint, brand new hardwood floors. And I'm like, wow. And so I asked her, I'm like, oh, so you're gonna be living here with me? And she's like, no, I'm not gonna be living here. Should have been the first red flag. Hindsight being 2020, should have been the first red flag. Once I found that out, I should have been like, nope, cut the brakes, stay home, stack my money, probably would have had a car now. But that's hindsight being 2020. And I always say that you can't fault yourself for what you know now. You can't be mad at yourself for not knowing then what you know now. The only way you would know what you know now is by going through what you went through then. So, yeah. So, I'm like, okay. So, they start telling me how they have other properties and they rent out rooms to people and stuff like that. So, I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. So, I leap at the opportunity. I'm like, I'm not going to find anything like this. I leap at the opportunity. And at the time, the job I was working in, I got paid weekly. So, again, I'm taking this as a sign that this is good. This is good. So, I move out. My mom was cool with it. My friends came and helped me. And I move out, and I'm like, yes. And I do the whole Instagram post thing. And I'm like, wow, like, I'm in my own space. Yes. So, for about 2-3 weeks, I was living there by myself. And it was great. I honestly, truly felt like I had so much freedom. And I literally loved the location of the house because, as you guys could see in the earlier vlogs of the channel, because where this channel started, I was still living there. And as you guys could see, I was in a walking distance of the library, of everything that I wanted to have access to on Main Street was literally a 5 to 10 minute walk. And I was like, yes, like, and I was so excited about that. And that still to this day, I'll give credit where credit is due, is something that I do miss about the location, but that's it. That's it. And so, yeah, so I'm like, damn, like, yes, like, this is great. And they start moving people in. So they move in this lady and her boyfriend, husband, I don't know what he was, but he was a truck driver. So he was never there. So it was usually just me and her. So it was cool. It's just me and this other lady. Now, I have to tell you guys that there was a singular bathroom with a singular toilet, a singular sink, and a singular shower. And when it was just me and her, and then a kitchen. And then there was no living room. So it was literally just rooms, kitchen, bathroom. So when it was just me and her, smooth sailing. House was clean, wasn't no issues, nothing. And so a few more weeks go by. I'm at work. They move in another lady. Now, mind you, I'm the first person that lives there. I'm 22 at the time. It should have been spoken with to me about who's going to be coming in and out of this place just off professionalism and safety alone. And they even said that I'm the youngest person that they've ever rented to. So, off that alone, communication should have been significantly better than what it was, but it was not. But I digress. So, this lady was clinically insane. Y'all, this lady had to have been schizophrenic, had to have had some other mental health issues going on. She told us that she used to live in motels, and she was always getting into it with the other lady. She was a white lady. She was always getting into it with the other white lady that lived there. And it was just like, me and her was just like, this lady is crazy. And she was always like screaming and shouting and all this other stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? Now, mind you, we have to keep in mind that I have a full-time job also. So I'm not in that space as often as one might think. Maybe just on my day off because I worked 5 days a week at the time. But other than that, I'm at work. I'm at work and, you know, I'm like living my life and, you know, I'm just experiencing. I'm never home. Let's just keep it like that. But as it started getting colder, I started being inside more. And I started to really see what was going on. That's how I found out that lady was schizophrenic. Because I knew she was a little off, but I didn't know she was insane. And, you know, that's not to say that all schizophrenic people are insane. It's just to say that this one was. And I find out the white lady is sleeping with any black person in a 50-mile radius. Male, female, doesn't matter. So I'm just like, okay, not my business, not my circus, not my monkeys. So I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. And then they move in this dude who's never there. He's never there. So it's literally just us 3 women at all times. And it just, stuff started getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And then I literally had to file a complaint about the crazy lady because it was getting out of hand. And I was just like, yeah, I can't I can't deal with the whatever psychotic break she's having daily. This is not good. And the place where I'm paying rent, I should not feel tortured and uncomfortable. And nope, no, this is too much. So they got her up out of there. And they moved in an older lady who was very quiet. And then the dude that they had moved in there, he was never there. And then eventually he just left. So this is where the story takes a wicked turn. Now, mind you, this is months down the line. We're fast forwarded to March 2025. March 2025, they move in this dude. I'm concerned because why is this man living here? And mind you, I didn't even know that he had started living there. I just happened to be walking out the bathroom from where I had showered, walking down the hall to my room, and there's a grown ass man. Like, I'm grown, but like grown ass man. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I'm like running down the hall. I'm like, oh my God. You know, it's not that I was like not covered, but still, like, what the, like, no, heck no. And he had said some things to me that made me uncomfortable off the second interaction. And I was just like, But he starts dating this lady who was legitimately a crackhead, who legitimately did crack. And the dude I was dating at the time lived next door. Isn't that funny? Cute little meet cute. Like, oh, y'all were neighbors and y'all started dating. No. But anyways, dude I was dating at the time lived next door. And he was like, he seems as though he just got out of prison. Like, freshly out of prison. What? Freshly out of prison? And it was confirmed by his crackhead girlfriend, who would call the police on him, knowing he's on probation. It was just a lot going on, guys. Like, it was a lot going on. So then, they start having domestic disputes. He starts slapping her around. There starts being things being thrown and broken. And I have not ever in my life had to deal with domestic disputes in the place of where I live. What are we doing? And he's telling her, yeah, run and go get more crack. That's how it was confirmed she was a crackhead. And I'm just like, y'all are moving in crackheads and ex-convicts, and what the hell is going on around here? So I'm just like, I have to get out of here. Lo and behold, in April, I was hospitalized, and I was having a very serious health condition. I had to get a minor surgery. So I couldn't pay rent. So I was in the hospital for a couple of days, but I wasn't working for about 2 to 3 weeks. And so I had to get, like, short-term disability and all that stuff. One thing I can say about FedEx office, they did a good job. They gave me 2 checks while I was going through all that. And I do appreciate them for that. Wish the company was better. But, when it comes to the benefits, they be on it. And so, yeah, I paid my back rent, and I got the hell out of that place. And I'm definitely speed running through this story because it was 6 months of my life, but it felt like the longest 6 months of my life. I mean, it was my first time being moved out, not being in a college setting. It was my first time having roommates of people that I truly did not know, people of all and any kind of background. It was my first time dealing with just so much stuff. And then on top of that, I had started dating that guy that lived next door. So it was just like, I had to suck it up and be like, you know what, I'm going to move back home. So move back home. I moved back home back in June? Or no, May. It had to have been earlier than June. So I moved back home May 2025. I paid them their back rent. I said, yeah. I asked my mom if I could come back home. She said yes. And I ended up with the room that you guys see me in now downstairs. And yeah. And this was a great decision for me, for my mental health. This was a great decision for me because sometimes, and you know, I kept seeing so many TikToks that was like advice I wish I would have known in my early 20s. Go back home. If you feel like you need to go back home, go back home. It was being almost a daily basis of these TikToks, and I was like, I'm going to. Don't you worry. I'm going to go back home. And I kept saying, I'm going to go back home. Come June 2025, I'm not going to be, and at that point in time, I wanted a new job and I wanted to go back home. So both things happened. By July 2025, I had a new job and I was back home. Power of the tongue, baby. So I was just like, yeah. And I moved back home, and it was literally the greatest decision. Since then, mental health has been significantly better. Since then, my nervous system has been regulating itself. And of course, you know, moving back has had its challenges because it's just like, I mean, I would like my freedom. It's not that I don't have freedom, but I can't just have like, you know, if I'm talking to a dude and let's say like, you know, I want to have like a date night. I can't just be like, oh yeah, you can come to my house and I can cook for you. And no, like this is still my mom's home. Like there's still, you know, boundaries and stuff like that. But I can say that things have significantly changed from when I was a child till now. And I think that definitely graduating from college and being moved out for those 6 months helped my mom to shift her mind frame of seeing me from, you know, little girl. I mean, she'll always see me as her little girl, but you know what I mean, to see me as a grown woman and as an adult. And of course, I don't have any rules. I don't have any, you know, if I want to spend the night at, you know, a dude I'm talking to's house, there's no like issues. Because I be seeing on TikTok where people be like, I'm 23 and stuff, to ask permission to leave the house. No, when I was 21 years old, my mom literally asked me, why am I still asking her? As long as I make it known that I'm safe and I am good, that's all she cares about. And I love that for me. And I know that that is a blessing and a privilege in and of itself. And now I pay the mortgage here. And that is a big responsibility, one that I'm grateful to have though. And I feel so, I don't want to say like I feel so much more grown up because like, I mean, I am 23. I will be 24 in a few months. But I feel so much more matured. And, you know, I feel like I see this house in a much different light than I used to, like growing up. And I'm just very grateful for it. So, yeah, I mean, I always feel that my lore runs deep. I'm a very entertaining person to be friends with because it's just like, how could one person have endured all that? You're living with crackheads and crazy people and whores. Like, what? But yeah, I was moved out for 6 months, and not to mention that whore slept with my boyfriend at the time. So it was just like, wow, like what is going on around here? And, you know, I'm grateful that I did not move in with that man because that was on the table at one point in time. Don't ever do that, by the way. Like, you and a man can be in each other's space and in each other's company, but don't have your living situation, your financial situation, or anything like that be dependent on a man. In our situation, it would have been dependent on me. Don't do that neither. Never let a man depend on you. That's a whole another video for another day. But yeah, So moving back home literally saved me so much, opened my eyes to so much. But I think about those 6 months where I moved out and I'm like, dang, I paid those people so much money and I could have had a car or two with that much money. But it's all right. My car, she's on her way. It's on the vision board, so it's definitely going to happen. So I know this video was a little short, but I just think that moving back home was the best decision I ever made. And I know that a lot of people in their early 20s are like, have like, oh my gosh, like what if I move back home and I'm getting treated like a kid? Or what if I move back home and XYZ? Move back home. At the very least, you know, move back home for your own sanity. Don't torture yourself or make yourself go through so many things for the sake of having your own space or having freedom. There's no greater freedom than peace of mind. Thank you guys so much for watching this video / story time. Y'all know how you listen on Yaps go. I literally just be yapping. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, babes. Mwah. Yeah. I can't believe that woman slept with my boyfriend. But then again, he was a whore too. So what are you going to do?